Good morning, I'm Hels from Hels Nicholas Deacaboo, and on today's short walk we're going to be showing you around Gelt Woods near Brampton in Cumbria. It's autumn, the leaves are falling from the trees. Let's go.
We begin beneath the A69 Brampton bypass, built to carry Carlisle to Newcastle traffic away from the town. It's a place designed for movement rather than pause, and the contrast is immediate as we step into the trees. The black path leads towards Gelt Woods, named for the peat-rich mud that gathers here, stained dark by water and decaying leaves. Today it lives up to its name. Ferns spill down the banks and trees leaning close, their leaves just beginning to turn, yellow and green softening the grey autumn light. On this autumn day, the woods are leaving summer behind, settling into something quieter and introspective.
Heading under the trees, the woodland closes in, cool and shaded beneath the tree canopy. We join the River Gelt, its water quick and restless, rushing through narrow channels cut into the red sandstone. Over time, the river has carved and reshaped the rock, smoothing some surfaces and breaking others into edges and ledges. The rush of water fills the air, echoing off rock and trees. Hart's tongue fern, golden saxifrage and woodrush grow from cracks and ledges, supported by thick carpets of moss clinging to the damp rocks. Some of the path is unfortunately currently closed and inaccessible.
path brings us to the old quarry face, where walls of red sandstone tower above. This belongs to the St Bees Sandstone Formation and was laid down around 250 million years ago, formed from the river sands in the early Triassic period, its layers still visible in bands across the stone. The sandstone is soft and easy to work, being quarried from Roman times onwards when it supplied stone for Hadrian's Wall nearby. Tool marks, cut faces and squared edges still show in the rock, softened by water and time. There's a later inscription carved into the rock, and Vivian Mousestall's stone bench sits at the foot of the quarry wall, a chance to pause and admire the art of nature.
As you walk through Gelt Woods, there are loads of benches, stones, logs to have a little sit on down by the river and watch the world go by. And hopefully you've remembered to bring your flask as well, so you can have a nice cup of tea while you do so. Cheers. Passing the Hayton boundary stone, we continue on towards Middle Gelt through one of the finest remaining ancient woodlands in Cumbria. Gelt Woods is dominated by oak, ash, birch and hazel, trees regenerating naturally for centuries, shaped by coppicing and low-intensity management, with later coniferous planting. Damp autumn conditions bring fungi out in force. Bright fly agaric, clusters of honey fungus and delicate mycena growing on fallen wood. These fungi play a vital role in the woodland, breaking down dead material, recycling nutrients and living in partnership with the trees to sustain the forest.
Middle Gelt, the woodland opens to reveal a scene shaped by both nature and human endeavour. Below, the road bridge spans the River Gelt with its 4 small spurs connecting the hamlets of Hayton and Castle Carrick, shaped by agriculture and pasture rather than the industrial development. Towering above, the Tyne Valley Railway Viaduct carries the Newcastle to Carlisle line. Built in the 1830s from local red sandstone, its series of arches echo the colours and geology of the gorge below, a marvel of the 19th century engineering in harmony with the landscape. Stone, water, woodland and farmland come together in this layered landscape.
Heading up out of Gelt Woods and turning at the Brampton boundary stone brings you to Unity Bog. Formed over thousands of years from decaying sphagnum moss under the peat-forming plants, these lowland peat bogs act as important carbon stores and provide habitat for rare species. Recent conservation work has focused on re-wetting the bog, removing encroaching silver birches and restoring wetland vegetation. For a closer look at local peatland, see our Bolton Fell Moss video, which highlights similar recovery efforts on a huge scale. The bricked up gaps on the walls of Unity Farm's barn give away its past as a peat drying shed, and today the farm focuses on sheep and cattle farming.